Good morning, and good morning, folks. This is Naeem Aslam, Chief Market Analyst at AvaTrade, and happy Friday to you. So, as always, bit of a housekeeping before we do anything else. Is anything we should be discussed in this particular video cannot be perceived as an advice. If you are seeking for one, please do consider consulting with your own financial advisors. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so, because by doing that, it gives you all the notifications the moment that we go live. Because after all, in these live videos, this is your opportunity to ask us as many questions as you like. So, what is going on in the stock market? Are we going to continue these moves to the upside? We're going to continue to see these moves to the upside, or will there be a sell-off? Well, as of today, what we're really seeing in the DAX, in these European markets, especially the DAX index, is still trading, taking to the upside. By that, what I mean is that green is the dominant color. We're still seeing a lot of investors coming and then pushing these markets higher. Now, of course, you may want to know that why are we seeing these momentum? Why are we seeing this momentum? Why are we seeing these moves to the upside? What are the reasons behind them? Well, investors are still feeling a lot more comfortable, based on two factors, and that is number one, the massive support in terms of a stimulus, and number two is monetary policy. Because yesterday, over in the United States, we did have, we saw the economic numbers coming pretty decent, but when we look at the stock market, especially the U.S. tech, the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 index, we did see them closing at their record highs. So remember those concerns where investors and traders were thinking of that, okay, look, any strength in the economic data is really going to leave the Fed behind the curve, and the Federal Reserve will be more aggressive towards the monetary policy. This particular week, we have seen those concerns easing off to a larger extent. I mean, if we look at the S&P 500 index on the weekly chart, and I am looking at it right now, I see that this particular week is really the fourth week of a consecutive gains, back-to-back consecutive gains for the S&P 500 index. As for the tech or the Nasdaq 100, it is really, this is the fourth week of gain as well. Now, if we quickly switch the chart and then move on to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, on the weekly time frame, once again, I see the fourth weekly consecutive gain. So really, these gains are very, very strong, and the momentum is still skewed to the upside. Investors and traders just believe that, look, we are going to continue to see these momentum. We're going to continue to see more moves to the upside, and that is exactly what we are really seeing. So what about earnings? Because that is another very, very strong character of the current earnings, of the current market price action. So this week we've heard for the companies like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley will be announcing their earnings today, and of course Wells Fargo. So one common theme across all the Wall Street giants were that, okay, they have not only been able to beat massively in terms of the earning per share, but they've also painted somewhat optimistic picture for the economy. One common theme that we have seen across all these banks is that loan growth hasn't really grown that much. And that is certainly a concern, because investors like to see that loan growth numbers going up. But of course, one of the reasons could be because we have seen so much massive stimulus coming into the economy. I mean, we had what? 3 rounds of stimulus checks, and so perhaps that was one of the reasons. But the hope is that as we go into quarter three, especially this particular quarter two of this year, we are likely to see uptick in those loan growth numbers, which should really help these banks to have those better earnings. So that is the view of the market on that particular front. Now, in terms of cryptos, certainly we are seeing momentum fading in terms of XRP, Ripple's XRP, because it has gone all the way to 1.65. And the moves are very, very interesting when we go on to our daily or on a 4 hour time frame, or especially on our 30-minute time frame, because earlier today the price did cross below that 200-day simple moving average. And also, folks, I have done a technical analysis video covering specific price levels in terms of XRP, where we could potentially see some buying pressure coming in. But of course, as always, do not perceive any of this as an advice, because we are not aware of your risk tolerance level, your portfolio management strategies, or anything else. This is purely for education purposes. But having said all of that, we did look at the technical analysis, and we, from based on a 15 years of experience in the market, we did mention that, okay, where are those potential price points where we could see the market reversing its price moves, and that is what we have discussed in that video. So I do recommend you to have a look at that video. Secondly, in terms of a Bitcoin, again, I have become a bit more hesitant on that end as well, because what has happened there is, again, on the 30-minute time frame, it is all about 30-minute time frame across these cryptos, is that the price has gone below the 200-day simple moving average, and we haven't seen the price crossing below the 200-day simple moving average in a very, very long time. And that is something that we really got to keep an eye on. Of course, one way of doing that is to keep an eye on the 4 hour time frame, and then see if the price can really bounce from its 50-day simple moving average. Can we really see the bounce coming back in? So that's what we really got to keep an eye on. Now, in terms of gold prices, that is certainly very, very intriguing. What we're seeing over there is an upward momentum, because investors know the Federal Reserve isn't really going to take an aggressive stance towards their monetary policy anytime soon. So, based on those fundamentals, we are seeing upward movement in gold prices. And the key price levels that you wanted to keep an eye on is the price trading or above the 50-day simple moving average on the daily time frame. That is the most important one that we have to keep an eye on, because as long as the price continues to trade above that 50-day simple moving average, we are likely to remain in clear. We are likely to see more momentum to the upside. All right, that's all for now. Enjoy your weekend and happy trading. I'll see you guys next week, same place. Thank you.